Now I'd like to set the agenda for this week. We'll be covering the research on CBT for depression and the cognitive formulation of depression. Okay, here are 2 reflection questions for you. What do you already know about cognitive case formulation? What do you want to learn? Post your answers on the forum. Let's talk about the research. The first research study on cognitive therapy for depression was carried out by Aaron Beck and his chief resident at the time, John Rush, and this was back in 1977. They showed that cognitive therapy was just as effective as medication.
Rob, there's been a lot of research since 1977 that has looked at the efficacy of CBT for depression. Can you just briefly summarize some of it?
Sure. There's been close to 100 studies that have really validated that initial study showing that cognitive behavioral therapy is an effective treatment for depression. And while they used to think for moderate or severe depression that medication is really the first line of treatment to go to, more recent research has shown that medication and cognitive behavioral therapy are about equivalent. And there was one study in particular where they took people with moderate to severe depression, gave them either antidepressants or the cognitive behavioral therapy, and then discontinued treatments. And about a year later, they found that those who received the cognitive behavioral therapy were less likely to relapse into another depressive episode compared to those who got the medication. So it really shows the power of cognitive behavioral therapy to prevent relapses in the future, which goes to the idea of being your own therapist.
Rob, I know there's also been some research lately that has looked at treatment-resistant depression. So what are the findings in those studies?
So they found that people who didn't respond to the antidepressants, so I think they gave them about 6 weeks and there was no significant difference or improvement in symptoms, and they added cognitive behavioral therapy to that, and they found that adding cognitive behavioral therapy actually helped improve depressive symptoms.
Even for this very difficult to treat population?
Yep.